Hi, welcome to Centerville Reports Today. I'm Maureen Russell Hodson. 'Tis the season. It is snow time. We've already had our first snowfall in Centerville. Here to tell us how Centerville takes care of those winter operations is our Public Works Director, Doug Spitler, and Public Works Supervisor, Marty Tackett. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
And since you were last here, Doug, you're wearing two hats. You were our city engineer,
correct,
promoted in July to
That's
Public
right.
Works Director, so congratulations
Well,
to
thank you.
And I know you're looking forward to this winter season that hit early this year.
It sure did.
So before we talk about how we take care of streets, which there really is a method to how you all do this, let's talk about how we prepare for that, which starts with salt. And there's been a lot of talk in the news about which communities have salt, who's looking for salt, do we have enough salt? What's our story on salt?
Back in August, the consortium of entities around here, including Centerville, there's about 101 entities that combine together to purchase salt through a purchasing cooperative. Bids were released and not everybody got bids. Centerville was lucky to get a bid, but there was different conditions on those bids. One of them was you had to buy all your salt all at once. So coming out of the season last year with budgets constrained and stressed, we had to already purchase salt for this year. We had purchased 100% of it up front.
So all the salt that we have now is all the salt we're going to have?
That's all we're counting on. That's what they're telling us right now. So that's what we're counting on. We did get our salt in, and we do have a full barn full of salt. We did share with other entities, and that's what a lot of the other places were doing. The places that did not get salt were asked to share with other entities, and we always share with Centerville Schools. We shared with the township a little bit, and we shared a little bit with Miamisburg as well. So we took bids with the consortium, and we got bids. Unfortunately, it's relative. We were lucky to get bids, but at the same time, they were almost double what they were last year.
A lot higher cost.
Correct.
It was pretty surprising, wasn't it?
It was. It was $92 per ton, and last year was about $52 per ton. So about an 80% increase in prices.
Yikes. But for folks who are driving Centerville streets, I know myself, when you come into Centerville, you know your roads are going to be clear, they're going to be safe, and there's really not a concern about having safe roads during this winter.
No, we're not concerned.
Yeah.
You always anticipate the average and hope you don't have the large events like we did last year. With an average season, we feel we're very comfortable. Marty will talk a little bit about what we do as far as anti-icing and de-icing and different technologies. We also use liquids that he can talk a little bit more about. But it's in addition to the salt, we have some other resources available. Well,
let's talk about that, Marty, because I know you're driving down the street, maybe even last week, and you see the little white squiggles on the road, and that is brine, right?
That's correct. It's salt brine, which is the studies have came back that found that 23.3% salt brine solution, to be exact, is the optimum salt solution you're looking for. And so it's just basically applied prior to an event. And
so you're watching the weather, and you know it's going to look like
you're
going to have some ice or snow, and so
that's correct.
So how much in advance?
You know, you can do it several days in advance. Like this past weekend, there was a chance through the Thanksgiving holiday, so we went ahead and pre-treated everything on Wednesday on the mains, not necessarily the residential streets, and it was there for the weekend. It's something that can be done days in advance, but you want to try to do it as close to a significant weather event as possible. So,
okay, so you put the brine down, and then let's say here comes the snow, and anything else that's going to happen before that, or we're going to send the plows out? And how do we determine when the plows are going to come out?
Well, it depends. Every event's different. If we've got a significant weather event, like this one we had back around November 17th.
Yeah, just 2 weeks ago, yikes.
Yeah, I was already at work and calling drivers in by the time I got the call from our police department. That we have an extremely proactive police department here in Centerville. So a lot of times I'll get the call directly from them, and at that point I'll call drivers and get them on the clock, and we'll get routes manned. So it just kind of depends on the way the weather comes in, how much we're expecting, and so every storm is different, every event is different. So if we're only expecting a light dusting, a lot of times the salt brine's enough. You can put that down, and that'll be enough to take care of whatever precipitation that we get. The flip side, if it's a significant weather event, we know we're expecting multiple inches. What it does give us is that window of preparation to get out onto the route. So hopefully, by the time the drivers get out on the routes, we don't have wrecks, and they're driving through dangerous situations trying to get around on the route. So it gives you that window of getting to the route as well.
Well, let's talk about when you call our guys in. There are 6 routes, and do you determine how many guys are going to come in based on, again, what you're expecting for the snow to fall?
Yeah, you know, sometimes if we get, there are times that we don't necessarily man every route. You know, if we get like a light dusting and maybe more than what the brine would have taken care of, if it's in the overnight hours, and you know, so we're very conscious of overtime, I guess would be the point in saying that. You know, we may call in 3 drivers and double up on routes just to get through that time frame. So it just depends. But most events, yeah, we'll call in a driver per route. And so if we got 6 routes, we'll have 6 drivers on it. When we get into some of the bigger weather events, you get into multiple inches, long duration, you know, we'll add the Oshkosh, which I think we've got a picture up on our screen. So we'll add that to it. So you'll see it running up and down the mains when we get some heavy snow and we've got to plow all the mains, and you'll see that running ahead of the truck. So at that point, you know, we've got probably 7 drivers on the clock.
Well, let's walk through the procedures, because you've mentioned mains a couple of times, which may be familiar to some folks, it may not, but there is actually a pecking order of which streets get plowed first.
That's correct. You know, the drivers, their primary responsibility when they get out there, they're going to start running all the main thoroughfares through the city, you know, Alex Bell, Clio, 48. After that, we get into some of our collector streets, which are kind of the main arteries that kind of go through the neighborhoods. That would be your school routes, making sure that, you know, areas around schools and things are addressed. So you want those kids to get to school.
That's
right. That is our goal. And from there, we would go back into our residentials as kind of a 3rd tier. Yeah. Sometimes what you'll see during an event, and I know we all like our residentials to be plowed as quick as possible, you know, in these long snow events that we get, a lot of times we'll go from our mains, and then we'll get to our collectors, we're back to our mains, maybe our collectors, and we're kind of back and forth, and so it could be hours sometimes before we can get to those residential streets.
And we just ask for residents to be patient, because obviously they're going to, and there's roads that need to be cleared first for safety reasons.
That's right, and we're trying to take care of those streets because, you know, they've got a higher speed limit, so you've got more people traveling on those roads, so there's more of a reason why we want to make sure we take care of those main thoroughfares first.
And I know we all want our, as you said, we all want our street cleared, we all want to get to where we're going, but if roads are that bad, it's probably smart just to stay at home anyway until someone can come by and get to your street.
That's correct.
Let's talk about how residents can help you all, because I know it's frustrating when there's snow out and maybe you want to get out and shovel your drive, shovel your walk, but there are actually some tips that we can provide folks so that they're not only helping themselves but helping your crews as well, right?
That's correct.
Move parked cars.
Yeah, definitely.
Good first start off the street.
Yeah, don't leave your car parked in the street, because you're going to get plowed in for sure, probably, right?
Right.
And then when the plows come by, it's going to throw snow. That's just part of what happens, right?
Sure.
So you should be when you're shoveling your own snow, you should be piling it to the left side.
To the left side
of your driveway.
Correct.
Right?
As you face your house to the left side, that helps try to reduce or minimize the amount of snow that's windrowed across your driveway. But the more significant snows, obviously, the more snow is going to be windrowed across the drive.
And then you don't want to plow your own driveway and then dump all your snow in the street.
Into the street. It's going to come right back in towards your driveway. So blow the snow or push the snow off to the sides, preferably before it gets to the street. Another thing to do is, in significant snow, is try to help out the fire department locating fire hydrants. Mailboxes are sometimes suspect too, but the fire hydrants really could use a help out. If you have one in your yard, go ahead and try to locate that or keep that accessible for the fire department so they can see that in case of an emergency. And
our residents are really appreciative of those guys out driving around, aren't they?
Oh yes, yeah. We get a lot of compliments, and you know, the drivers. I hear from them, you know, on several occasions where, you know, people come out and thank them, and you know, just show appreciation for what they do. We get a lot of calls, and when we get those, we always post them on the board and let the guys see when residents call in. Because
we all want to stay safe and in our homes and warm, and these guys are out really on some treacherous roads because they're getting there before any salt's been put down.
Right. That's correct.
So we always appreciate. We always give a shout out to our guys who are out there keeping us safe, not only the police department, but Public Works as well. Let's talk too about sidewalks, because we do ask people, especially if you're in an area where kids are walking to school or waiting for the bus, that they clear their sidewalk as well.
Right, that's correct. Our municipal code requires that. We encourage people to follow that code. It's within 12 hours after a snowfall. Specifically, and those folks know that if they're on a school route, it really helps to get those walks cleared so kids can go to school. I know our schools do a really good job about trying to get the students there, so anything that the residents can do especially on a school route, to really get those walks cleared is certainly a benefit.
And if for some reason you are unable to clear your own snow or you need some help, the City of Centerville has a resource list. So you can call and get a list of a group of volunteers who will come and shovel your walk and your driveway, or if you prefer, we have a list of businesses. On the flip side of that, if you're interested as a family or a scout group or some other group and you'd like to volunteer to help out some people, give us a call at 433-7151 and we will make sure that we put you on that list. But we want to make sure that everybody is safe during the winter season, really all year round. But I know during this time roads are treacherous and accidents can happen. So that's a good resource list to have.
It is. Thank you.
Let's talk to, real quickly, Christmas trees are going to be picked up until January 8th, right?
January the 8th.
And we want those where?
At the curbside, and they will be collected not necessarily with your refuse, so that if you see your refuse gone but your tree is still there, don't be concerned, because we do collect those and recycle those trees.
And make sure you take all your lights and everything off your tree.
Everything needs to come off the tree.
Because you...
we chip them up so it runs through our equipment, so we don't want the lights or anything going through the equipment and damaging the equipment. So take everything off the tree and put the tree at your curb.
And I want to talk too about brush drop-off, because this last snow that we talked about, I lost 2 limbs on my tree. Right. This happens, you can chop it up and bring it over to Public Works, right?
Every Wednesday we still run throughout the wintertime from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Bring your ID for Centerville residents. It's our Public Works Center, and then also every 3rd Saturday in every month, the 3rd Saturday from 9 to noon. Okay. We offer brush drop-off as well.
So just have your ID, pull up, and you all help?
We absolutely help unload the trailer or truck or whatever it is, and can assist the residents.
Okay, and Doug, I can't let you leave and without a quick construction update. I know a lot
Sure.
of
we have a lot of updates to give you.
Yeah.
All weather dependent, obviously. Yeah. Feedwire Road is our most significant one. Hopefully this week we've got some weather that's cooperating to get the pavement down. I believe we will not get final pavement down this fall, but we hope to get that opened up so that all the lanes are available, at least in a temporary fashion. Traffic signal finalizations will be finalized as well, and everything will be operating as if it were completed. We just doubtful to get the final pavement down this year.
And so folks have to remember too, as you said, weather dependent.
Weather dependent, absolutely. Asphalt is highly temperature sensitive, basically because of the compaction, so we need to make sure that we are getting that asphalt down. We also have a library construction project that is just starting. I know a lot of people will be excited next year. It won't open until next year, but they have started that work up at the Woodburn Library. It'll be an access drive out to North Village Drive. So that'll be a really good project we can probably do a show on next spring.
Okay, you heard it, Marty.
That's right.
You signed up for another one. And a good place to go if you wanted to have updates on what's going on is really our website, which is centervilleohio.gov, or you can always call the city at 433-7151, because really things are always happening. Our Facebook page is a great place too, because we keep that updated so that you know what's happening where. But for the most part, when you're out driving, take it slow. We know you guys are out keeping our streets safe, and when you see those white squiggly lines, know you're expecting some kind of snowfall, right?
That's right. That's right.
So we hope it's not like last year. Any predictions?
Less than last year.
That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah.
That's correct.
And the Farmer's Almanac says what?
Worse than last year.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Everything's indicating it's going to be worse, but they were actually saying it was going to start early, which, it did. Started on November 16th, 17th time frame for this year, but, up until this point, we're not looking too bad. The next 10 days doesn't look too hateful, so,
Okay.
Every week counts.
That's for sure. And rest assured, our Centerville Public Works crews will be out there keeping our roads safe.
Right.
Fellas, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
If any questions, call us 433-7151 or centervilleohio.gov. Thanks.